Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. And today we are talking 3D Blu-ray, because I have a whole nother stack here of 15 3D Blu-rays to share with you guys. I've been collecting these over the past about year again here now. Man, it's crazy that it's been that long, but a lot of these have been sitting here for some time, so I'm excited to finally share them with you. So let's get my 3D glasses off because, well, that's annoying to look at. Not that this is any less annoying, I guess. But anyway, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right into another 3D Blu-ray haul. So technically this first one here should have gone into a thrift store haul video, but I mean, I don't find 3D Blu-rays at the thrift store ever, really, and so I figured this would be a more appropriate spot for it. But I did find this one while thrifting, actually just the other day for this one, but this is Megamind 3D. So I don't own this movie at all in the collection, so I will eventually grab the 2D disc for this and then make it into a combo pack, so that way I have both the 3D and the 2D, because as you can see on the inside, this one is only that 3D disc. And I think the reason for that is because this is a promotional copy of this. And I was looking at this down here. It says, you know, brought to you by Samsung. Yeah. So I'm guessing that this was one that was included with a 3D TV, because if you're not familiar, which a lot of you probably are, but back in the day when you bought a new 3D TV, sometimes they would include a Blu-ray 3D in there as a bonus of sorts. And so I think that's what this is. It says on the back there for promotional use only, and it's all multi-regioned here. So yeah, that's my guess at where this came from, but happy to have it, and it was really cool that I found it from the thrift store. So this is Megamind 3D, and I have seen this one, but never like sat down to watch it from start to finish. But one of my employees, when I worked at the Family Video, he was obsessed with Megamind. He would put it on all the time. So I'm sure when I actually sit down and watch this from beginning to end, it'll be very familiar, but it'll definitely feel like a first-time watch either way. So anyway, Megamind 3D is now in the collection. Sticking with the family films, this next one I found at it's called Media Reload, which is basically the same thing as a disc replay. I wish there were more around, but there's only one that I know of, and it's out by my mom's house, so I don't get there very often, but that's where I found this one, and I was happy to do so. We have Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted. So I think this was actually the last of the Madagascar films I needed to have them all in the collection, and it was just very fitting that this one happened to be in 3D. And this is actually the full combo pack. You have the 2D disc, the 3D disc, and a DVD in here as well. So very happy to have this one with the slip cover at that, which is always fun. So I really love the first one of these, but I've yet to watch any of the sequels, so I definitely need to correct that. But happy to have Madagascar 3 in 3D. This was a more recent find as well, and I purchased this one off of eBay. I just heard that this series of movies is supposed to be just some of the best out there when it comes to animated films, so I figured, you know what? Let's pick it up on 3D. That way my daughter and I can watch it. But we have Puss in Boots. So this, of course, is, if I'm not mistaken, a spin-off from the Shrek franchise with our, you know, feline main character here, but it's supposed to be excellent. This one and the sequel, though I think it's called The Last Wish, is people consider some of the best animated films ever made. So I have not seen these. Again, cannot wait to check this one out. I definitely want to watch this one with my daughter around in our 3D setup here. But yeah, I thought this would just be a fun 3D ad for the collection as well. So let me know if you guys are big fans of Puss in Boots. Like I said, according to my research online, people just adore this movie. So excited to check out Puss in Boots. This next one I found at my local disc replay, and it's brand new in the shrink wrap still. Now, admittedly, the reviews are kind of mid on this, but I'll check it out for the low price I paid. We have Upside Down, and this one stars Kirsten Dunst in it, and I guess it's like a romantic sci-fi movie of some sort. You can see it has something to do with like alternate universes, and gravity is all screwed up in this world. I don't know. It sounds interesting enough. And the fact that it was new on Blu-ray 3D, that's why I decided to pick it up. But I don't think a lot of people love this one. If you've seen it, let me know what your thoughts were. But this is one that has the Blu-ray 2D and 3D on the same disc. I don't know if that like degrades the quality of the 3D aspect of it at all, but there are a number in my collection that do that. But anyway, this is Upside Down with Kirsten Dunst. Speaking of mid titles, here's another one that would fit into that same category. I, Frankenstein with Aaron Eckhart. So this is another one that literally I only bought because it was in the 3D format. Not heard a lot of great things about this one, and another one with the 2D and the 3D on the same disc, along with the DVD separate there. But like I said, not heard a lot about this over the years, and what I have heard has not been great. But I mean, it's a horror movie in 3D, so there's no chance I wasn't grabbing this one when I saw it. Hopefully it's decent enough. I just want some cool visuals in 3D, so we'll see. We have I, Frankenstein. If I'm not mistaken, I think I showed part 1 of this film in another 3D Blu-ray haul here not too long ago, but I had to pick up part 2 since I had part 1. We have Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows part 2. So from everything I've read, part 1, it's not very impressive in terms of the 3D, but part 2, on the other hand, is. And I actually saw, I want to say it was part 1 in theaters in 3D, but everything was so dark, I could barely even make out what was happening for some of the film. So I'm hoping that I'm able to correct that with this one. But yeah, I love these movies. I've talked about them multiple times here on the channel. I have a whole rank and review of the franchise. I mean, part 2 is one of the best in the series. It is just a beautiful culmination of everything that has been built up to that point. Fantastic film. Very excited to own this one in 3D to go alongside my 4K release. We have Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. I love when these 3D releases just feel heftier than some of the standard releases, and that's exactly what's going on here. This thing is heavy. It has the lenticular slipcover. I mean, this is high quality. I love this when it comes to 3D, but this is Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. So this is another one, like I said, it just has everything with it, with the slipcover. It's a 5-disc set. One of those is most likely a digital copy disc, which I'll do nothing with. But yeah, just an awesome looking release here. And I had this entire series on Blu-ray. I upgraded from DVD. But I upgraded now my standard 2D Blu-ray to this 3D release. So happy to have this in the collection. I will eventually get around to these at some point in my life here. So hopefully I'll enjoy it when I do. We have Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. This next one, I feel like such an idiot over because I passed on it when it was down to like $5 at Big Lots, and I have no idea why. I just wasn't doing like the 3D Blu-ray collecting at that point, so I thought, you know what, I already have it on 4K. I don't need it in the 3D, but turns out later in life, I did need it on 3D, and so I ended up picking this one up off of eBay. I only paid maybe $8 to $10 for it, so not that much more, but still annoying because I could have had it brand new. I'm talking about Mad Max Fury Road in 3D. I love this movie, which I think most people do. I love Furiosa as well, but this is just such an excellent film with Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron, and I cannot wait to see how it is in 3D. I've read really great things about the 3D transfer for this, and it was amazing in 4K with that Dolby Atmos audio track, which does this one have? This one actually has Dolby Atmos on it as well for the Blu-ray 3D, but where I watch my 3D, I don't have Atmos set up anyway, so that won't really matter to me, but either way, very happy to finally add this one to the collection. No idea why I just didn't pick it up for cheaper, but either way, now we do. This is Mad Max Fury Road. Here's another random disc replay find for a movie that I really enjoy and have it on 4K, but I'll have the 3D to go along with it. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So this is the first of what, like the 2-film reboot, I believe. And I really enjoy this movie. I think it's so much fun. I love Megan Fox though, which I know not everybody does, but I'm a big Megan Fox fan. And I think the visuals on this are amazing. Another one with that lenticular slipcover, which just looks awesome. So yeah, this will be a cool watch once I get around to it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 3D. We've gone from good to mid. We might as well hit a bad one along the way here as well. Now, that's just according to what people have said, but because people have crapped on this movie over the years, I just never spent the time with it, and it's now finally in the collection for the first time, so I will correct that at some point here. But The Green Hornet, I had to get it. It's been at Disc Replay for the longest time, and I finally decided, you know what, since I'm doing the 3D thing, I'm going to pick this one up. Now, the only thing I can say is the packaging here. I think the packaging looks great. We have this like see-through clear box for it, which is awesome. opening it up on the inside, we do have a separate disc for our 2D DVD and 3D Blu-ray. So I think it just is very nice packaging, which obviously means nothing. The movie itself is what I'm intrigued about. Tons of special features listed on this as well. So like I said, this is the only way I own this. So this is how I'm going to watch it, and I cannot wait to do so. I like the cast. I have a sneaking suspicion that I'll enjoy this more than most people did, but maybe I'll be wrong and it's just going to be awful. Time will soon tell. We have The Green Hornet. The next three are all part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this first one here I bought used off of eBay because I've heard that the transfer on this is really good. I was watching, no idea what the channel is. I don't think I'm subscribed to them. They just kind of randomly popped up in my feed, and they were going through their entire Blu-ray 3D collection, and this was one that they highlighted as a very good 3D transfer. Frankly, don't love the movie, but I'm intrigued to see how it is in 3D. This is Thor. So this is my least favorite of the Thor. Actually, you know what? Is it even my least favorite? Maybe Dark World is my least favorite, but this is not a favorite. It's not, either way. I think it's a decent movie, but not anything to write home about. But maybe that 3D aspect of it will make it a little bit more fun to watch than the 4K I have. So yeah, excited to get around to this one and just revisit. It's been a long time since I've seen the original Thor, but now that I have it in 3D, I'm excited to see how that looks. We have Thor. You know what? I'll just show these next two together because they're, again, part of the MCU. And I actually bought both of these brand new off of eBay from, I cannot remember the seller's name, but they sell a bunch of imports. And so I had to grab these. We have Avengers Infinity War, but you can't have Infinity War without Endgame. Two just amazing movies. Endgame, I would argue, is better than Infinity War, but I still really enjoyed Infinity War. So just looking forward to rewatching these in 3D. I actually did try these out on 3D, and they looked really good for the scenes I was watching. So I'm just interested to watch them all, obviously, from start to finish, and appreciate that 3D effort done here. Now, these are both UK releases, as you can see from the bottom. Unfortunately, these were... I don't think either of these were released in 3D here in the States, or if they are, they're just very expensive and out of print, but this was the cheapest and the best way to get them off of eBay for me. So happy to have them. We have Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. So I have two more to share with you guys today, and both of these were eBay purchases, and admittedly they were a little bit more expensive than virtually everything else you've seen here, except maybe... These might have been closer to $30 because they were brand new, but I don't remember exactly. It's been a little bit now. But these were a bit pricier as well, right around that $30 mark. But I've heard that these are just some of the best. Well, this one in particular is just some of the best Blu-ray 3D you can get. So had to check it out. We have The Walk. So this is a movie starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt that is it's based on a true story about a guy who put a string or a wire, a rope, whatever it is that he uses, in between the two twin towers in New York City and walked across it. And so it's supposed to just look dazzling in 3D. I don't use that word very often, but it's supposed to be just an amazing 3D transfer. Again, the lenticular slipcover is just perfection. I love that. And then you have the standard or the regular case on the inside in its clear case. And this is one that, one of the first ones I plan on watching in 3D out of this stack here. So I've heard amazing things about this transfer. Cannot wait to see how it holds up. This is The Walk. Last but not least is one that the packaging on this is incredible. And that's the main reason I wanted this, along with the fact that might not be a popular opinion, but this is, without a doubt, one of, at least, my favorite Star Wars films. I adore this movie. I've read the novelization that is based on this movie, and I've seen the movie a couple times, once on once in theaters, actually, and then I watched it again not too long ago on 4K. Stunning, an absolutely beautiful film in 4K, but I have to now try it in 3D. I'm talking about Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So this packaging is one of the main reasons I wanted this, because it's, again, one of my favorites from the franchise, and so I just wanted this really cool packaging. So there's the front and the back of it there, and then this slides off, which is pretty neat. And then on the inside here, so I'm just going to open it up first. So there is the inside, and more of the inside there, and all the discs. And then let me flip this around the best I can. And there is that image there, which looks awesome, of course, you know, toward the climax of the movie. But what's really interesting about this is this front cover here, because this, it's not going to slide out easily, but this actually comes out and you can swap it around. So now you can see that's blank, but you have multiple images here, so you can have different characters be in the front of the release, which is just awesome. Like, what a unique idea that I've never seen previously. So, of course, I'm going with our main character here. So, I just think this is awesome. Like, what a cool, unique release. And so, yep, I paid up a little bit for it, but it's one that I'm very happy to have in the collection because it's just a favorite. So, that's Rogue One. I think this is one of the cooler releases I have in my collection, period, but without a doubt, my coolest 3D Blu-ray in the collection. Can't wait to give this one another revisit and just see how the 3D looks. So, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, is the last of the 3D Blu-rays I've picked up recently. All right, so there it is, 15 more movies for my Blu-ray 3D collection. I have just loved collecting for this over the last year, and I don't want to stop. It's becoming harder and harder to find things in the wild, and so anything I want to have to get off of eBay. I do have a small Blu-ray 3D wish list of items to get still, but frankly, they're just out of print and or were not released in the States, and so I have to go to eBay for them, and some of them are just really expensive, and so I've just not been putting my money towards those at this point. But I definitely want to get some more, but for now, that's everything I have here in the house that is new in my collection for Blu-ray 3D. But if there's any releases that you know of in 3D that are supposed to be just mind-blowing, please leave those down in the comments below, and I will add them to my list to try to find in the future. But yeah, that's going to do it for today, guys. I'm considering starting up a Blu-ray 3D review series here on the channel. I don't know how frequently I would do it, but I would love to get talking about these because I know some of you have found my channel thanks to these videos. Not a ton, I don't imagine, but there are some that are very interested in Blu-ray 3D like myself, and so I would love to just start watching and talking about these a little bit more in depth. So that might be something that comes down the line here, but let me know if you're interested in that down in the comments. But anyway, that is going to do it. So thank you so much for making it all the way to the end here. I really do appreciate that. And before you go, I'll just encourage you all to consume some media today. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you all next time.